All right, Shalom Yasharala. Before we get started, we're going to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to those for elect. You sincere brothers out here that's listening. So like you sincere brothers out here that's pushing this word. And you sincere sisters that's listening and learning. May the choice of election be upon your house. We're back in another video. And this will be a news and privacy report. All right. News and privacy report. Going into some articles as always. And linking them up with the scriptures. All right. Because as always, we're living in these latter days, man. All right. And the privacies, all right, things that's going on around the world. All right. It's right in front of our faces, man. All right, war, the MOTB. All right, Esau coming down with a great wrath. All right, upon the ones who have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. All right, keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh. You know, Jacob's trouble. All this and different other. We see all this right in front of our faces, man. You see, and I first want to play a video because I watched it earlier. It was shared by the elder Manat Zaba. All right, I want to go to it. Let's see. Give me 1 sec. I was watching it earlier. What in the world? Hold on. Nah, don't pop up. Let me see if I can do this. Pull that up. Yeah, this one right here.
Ever seen a military monocular lens that'll knock?
All right, and this says from NBC News. This was 6 hours ago. It says experts say the Chinese military could seize Taiwan's government buildings in under an hour. Now this was 6 hours ago. All right, you know Taiwan. All right, China wants to take over Taiwan for certain purposes. But we got these different wars, rumors of wars going on. All right, so I'm gonna mute myself and stay tuned.
Socks off. You're about to. Dude, you got to hear about.
These striking images of Chinese warships off the coast of Taiwan this month, a dire warning of a potential invasion that could disrupt the global technology supply chain, plunge the world into an economic catastrophe, and start a hot war between the U.S. and China. And according to one geopolitics expert, an actual invasion could be over before the U.S. even has a chance to respond.
So a lot of people assume that this would be sort of a Normandy type of beach landing. The reality is the terrain does not allow it.
Dmitry Alperovich predicted the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and now in a new book he lays out how China could seize Taiwan. First, he says, the Chinese would mount a lightning-fast assault from the air and the sea.
You're still going to move amphibious assault ships across the strait. Each of them can deliver about 800 troops and, more importantly, dozens of troop transport helicopters as well as gunships to do an airborne assault. They can reach the two airports within 10 to 15 minutes.
They can do that by parking them in international waters. And Taiwan would feel constrained from firing first because that would be seen as provoking a war.
You're going to have these transport ships, mostly civilian vessels, and have been loaded with hundreds of thousands of troops, armored vehicles, tanks, logistics that you need to occupy an island of 23 million people.
To cover the attackers, Alperovich says, China would strike Taiwan's defenses from afar.
You're going to have bombers launched from the mainland. You're going to have the largest cruise missile and ballistic missile and rocket forces in the world, pummeling fixed radar installations, pummeling naval facilities, pummeling communication nodes.
Then, he predicts, Chinese Marines in huge airboats would rush up the river leading to the center of the capital city, Taipei.
All of this can happen literally within the first 30 minutes of action.
All the while, he says, the U.S. president facing an awful choice. allow the aggression to stand, or launch a war that could kill more Americans than World War II. So why is Taiwan so vital to U.S. and global interests? One reason? Taiwan manufactures almost 70% of the world's semiconductors, those tiny boards used in everything from phones and laptops to life-saving medical devices and the vast server networks that power American industry. And if China invades, experts say, the U.S. or Taiwan is likely to destroy those factories, which would spell economic disaster for much of the world. Or, if China manages to capture the factories and keep them operational, it would leap ahead in the world's most important technologies. Alperovitch says that would harm American prosperity and security. But so would a war with China.
In the first year of that war, global depression right off the bat.
And that assumes it doesn't go nuclear.
That's right.
Intelligence agencies and military leaders have been warning for years that China is working on plans to seize Taiwan by force. The admiral in charge of U.S. Pacific Command told Congress in March that, quote, all indications point to the People's Liberation Army meeting Xi Jinping's alleged goal of potentially invading Taiwan by 2027.
We haven't faced a threat like this since World War II.
China has spent the last 2 decades modernizing its military to be able to destroy American ships in the Pacific.
You're going to lose ships. You're going to lose a lot of sailors. You're going to lose thousands, potentially even tens of thousands of American troops.
Alperovitch says the U.S. must make containing China the focus of its foreign policy.
The United States has to make it clear to them that the cost of this conflict are going to be too huge for the Chinese economy.
He says that means ending U.S. reliance on China for things like critical minerals and solar panels. And it means arming Taiwan in a way that would make an invasion much more painful than it would be today. All to influence the calculations of the Chinese president.
We want him to wake up every single day and look at himself in the mirror as he is shaving and say, today is not the day.
Ken Delanian, NBC News.
So you heard it, man. All right. And now I got this article I want to pull up. Not this one. It says, shut down the world. That's from Fox News. It says, shut down the world. McCall warns of global economic catastrophe if China invades Taiwan. All right, this was May 28th, 2024. This was today. All right. It says, a Chinese invasion of Taiwan could have catastrophic consequences for the global economy, including the United States, warned House Foreign Affairs Chairman Michael McCaul, all right, from Texas. The thing that really, I think, makes this island extremely important is that 90% of the advanced semiconductor manufacturing for the world happens right here. And if an invasion happens, I don't see a scenario where that survives, McCall told Fox News Digital in an interview at his hotel in Taipei. Everybody that has phones, cars, we have advanced weapon systems. Everything is dependent on semiconductors and this island over time because we've offshore manufacturing. We put ourselves in a very vulnerable position by doing that. And the shutdown of what's happening here, semiconductors would really shut down the world. The senior Republican made the somber prediction after meeting with Taiwan's president and foreign minister as part of the first U.S. delegation to sit down with the newly inaugurated officials. It says, it also comes after China staged some of its most aggressive military drills yet off Taiwan's coast, sending dozens of warships and planes into the island's territory in retaliation for comments by its new leader, President La Ching-te, expressing support for its independence from Beijing's ruling Chinese Communist Party. These war games to intimidate and protest the election from China are probably the most proactive I've ever seen in terms of the numbers of ships and planes, McCall said. He stressed that a full-scale invasion by China could lead to an electronic shutdown and an economic spiral not seen since the, C-19 pandemic, threw global markets into a tailspin. That includes ramifications for Americas and rural, urban, and suburban areas, he suggested. From planes to car, it says from the phones to the car, tractors, everything in your kitchen, our military defense, he listed. Semiconductors are a critical component for a litany of electronics, being used in everything from healthcare to transportation, communications, military systems, and everyday use items like air conditioners, televisions, and refrigerators. All right, and again, the 90% number, really, it's hard to fathom that. It's why we want to move more manufacturing back to the United States, but that's going to take time. And I don't know what timeline Chinese President Xi Jinping is on, McCall said. And you can read the rest on your own. So hey, this is news, man. All right, and we all know this is the Lord, but we all know that first the mark of the beast has to come, but World War III is a part of prophecy. All right, let's get this. Isaiah 34 and what was that? Yeah, 34 and 1. It says it says God's wrath against nations. The Heavenly Father says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." You see that? "And all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree." This is the one I wanted. I think that's 13, but this is good too. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment." You see? So this is talking about, the nuclear missiles. All right, and he said in the video, it could, lead to a U.S.-China war. All right, but that could lead to nuclear, man, because China does have nuclear weapons. But it's Isaiah 13 I wanted. Isaiah 13 and 4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts, or the Lord of heaven's armies, mustereth the host of the battle." This is the Lord, man. He's mustering up the host of the battle. All right. It says, "They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, the nuclear ICBMs, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land." What land is that talking about? America, Babylon the Great. And also Israel. Israel will be destroyed as well, but Israel will be built back up. America will burn, will continually burn for a period of time. You see? But let's get Joel. If I can find it. Joel, I think it's 3. Joel 3 and 1. "For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations. It will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh-Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land." Let's get this word. All right. Jehoshaphat is Yahweh-Shaphat. Right? Yahweh is the name of the Lord. See? You read the name, and read it from right to left. This is Yahweh. This is Yahweh, man, not Jehovah. All right, Yahweh Shaphat. Let's see it. Let's get it right here. All right, Shaphat. Yep, Shaphat. Yahweh Shaphat. All right, and it was to judge, govern, vindicate, punish. You see that? To act as a lawgiver or judge or governor, to rule, govern, judgment, to decide controversy of God, man, to execute judgment. That's what the Lord is going to do. You see, Yahweh Shaphat. All right, Yahweh has judged. You see that? It's down here symbolic name of a valley near Jerusalem, which is the place of ultimate judgment, maybe the deep ravine which separates Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives through which the Kidron flowed. You see, and we just looked up what Yahweh, the name of the Lord's name is Yahweh, and Shaphat, which is what to judge, to punish. You see that? So I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. I will plead them and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You see that? And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And they sold us, man. They sold us to. They had us it was first before the transatlantic slave trade. It was the sub-Saharan slave trade, the Arabs. You see, let's jump down to verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong." These weak nations that were, they didn't have no they had military, but they were weak against America. They were weak against other nations. Now they're strong. All right, North Korea. All right, I believe China was, always strong, but China, all right, Iran, Turkey, you see, these other nations, all right, there was another one, it lost me, but, you see, let the weak say I am strong. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened, and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, Salakia, Yahweh of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. You see that? So the Lord is gonna judge these different nations, man. Let's get Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. We seeing that. They talking about a global famine. All right, we seeing the pestilences. They talking about these new diseases. All right, the bird flu. You see, and earthquakes. These different storms happening all around the earth. Earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes. All right, in diverse places, man. All these are the beginning of sorrows. We're in the beginning stages, man. It's going to continue to increase. Excuse me. You see that? Oh, not that one. So I got another one right here. So it says Navy Admiral warns Russian and Chinese nationals are trying to infiltrate U.S. military bases. National security is being jeopardized by a wave of Chinese and Russian nationals sneaking onto U.S. military bases, a top Navy admiral has warned. U.S. Fleet Forces Commander Daryl Call said that attempted infiltrations are happening 2 or 3 times a week at Navy bases alone. More than 100 attempts were made by Chinese nationals alone last year, with the perpetrators often claiming to be innocent tourists when caught. This thing of our military bases getting penetrated by foreign nationals is happening more and more, Call told Fox News. This is Russian, it's Chinese. It comes from all different nations, from these different nations. See that? A lot of times they have passports, they have papers, but they are in no way, shape, or form authorized to be on our base, and it's really hard for us to tell the underlying motive in these type of cases. Operatives from communist China have been caught scuba diving close to Cape Canaveral, wandered onto a missile launch site in New Mexico, and claimed to be looking for Holiday Inn when caught at an army base in Alaska. In 2019, 3 Chinese nationals, were sentenced to prison for illegally taking photographs of military infrastructure at the a Key West Navy base in Florida. It says that same year, 2 Chinese citizens were expelled from the U.S. after attempting to drive onto joint expeditionary base Little Creek Fort Story in Virginia Beach, reported the Virginia Pilot. But most foreign nationals who are caught are cited, given small fines, and asked not to return. This was one of us. They would kill us on sight. It says, as trespassing is generally not considered a federal crime. This is something we see probably 2 or 3 times a week. We're stopping these folks at the gate. This is just the Navy alone, call said. And usually the cover story is, I'm a student, I'm an enthusiast, I want to see the ships, that type of thing. We have to turn them around, and typically we will get the NCIS involved. We will get biometrics if possible. It says concern about Beijing's intentions has ballooned in response to an 8,000% increase in Chinese nationals known to have crossed the southern border in the last 3 years. More than 24,000 have been intercepted in the current financial year, the House Committee on Homeland Security reported last month, and more asylum claims are approved for Chinese migrants than any other nationality. And you can read the rest on that. You see, so now their bases are not even safe. You see, so they coming at them, man. All right. Israeli tanks advance into Rafah center despite global outcry. Like, come on, Ukrainian strike or Russian nuclear radar system causes alarm in West. So, listen, man, this is we see these things happening. Wars and rumors of wars. All right, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It's gonna happen. All right, it's prophesied. See that? Salakia. So I'm gonna go over here. This is one of the major prophecies we're looking out for, right? It says Neuralink receives FDA approval to implant brain CHIP in second patient. All right. It says Elon Musk's Neuralink has received approval from the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, to implant its experimental brain CHIP telepathy in a second patient. Neuralink, the brain chip startup founded by Elon Musk, has been given the green light by the FDA to proceed with implanting a brain CHIP in a second patient. This decision follows complications encountered with the first trial participant. To address these issues, Neuralink has made adjustments, including embedding some of the device's ultra-thin wires deeper into the brain, according to a source familiar with the company in a document reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Neuralink plans to expand the trial to include 10 participants this year, enabling them to interact with computers using their thoughts. The primary goal of the project, known as the PRIME study, is to develop a fully implantable wireless brain-computer interface that allows users to control a computer cursor or keyboard with their thoughts. This groundbreaking technology reportedly has the potential to offer transformative treatments for physical disabilities, such as blindness and paralysis, as well as conditions like autism, depression, obesity, and schizophrenia. They coming with the miracles, man. Neuralink's brain chip, named telepathy, was first implanted in late January, and 30-year-old quadriplegic Nolan Arbaugh. He was the first patient. The chip allowed Arbaugh to control a computer mouse using his thoughts without any initial adverse effects, according to Neuralink. The procedure involved a specially designed robot placing the coin-sized chip, which are ultra-thin flexible threads, into the brain region responsible for movement intention. This chip records transmits brain signals wirelessly to an app that decodes the movement intention. You see? So, this is long. Well, it's not long, but, you can read the rest on your own, man. All right, this is and then you got a lot of camps coming up against this. You see? Let's get Revelation 13. Revelation 13. All right. First, let's get this. All right, because they're trying to come into miracles. 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm going to start at 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed. We all know who the wicked is. All right, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So they come with those miracles, man. All right, those lying wonders. All right, and those powers and those signs and deceivableness, man. Saying it can make the heal the blind. All right, those are paraplegics. You see, that's honestly what they're gonna come with. You see that? But let's get over this. All right, Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great. This is not talking about nations. It's talking about people. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. You go to the word mark is charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, nations don't have right hands or foreheads, man. All right, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell. See that? Without it, you can't go to the store. You can't go to Whole Foods. Can't go to BJ's. Can't go to Sam's Club, Walmart, Safeway. Right? It says, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 603 score and 6. See that? Lock it, hold on. Read it one more time. It says, and here is verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding. Right, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 603 score and 6, which is 666. You see that? Now let's go into that word mark real quick. The word charagma. All right, what you going to the word what? Karax. This is a to sharpen to a point. You see, to through the idea of scratching. You see, that's what's a sharpened point. All right. To says a pale or stake or palisade or rampart, pales between which earth and stones, trees and timbers are heaped, and other stuff. Right. But right here it says to sharpen to a point. All right. It says to through the idea of scratching. A stake, i.e. implication of palisade. We read that. Let's see what this says. It says grapho. Right? Alright, we can go back. So karax, the word karama, or the root is karax. And this is a stamp, so that's how you know this is a physical, alright, physical thing. Right? It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. You see that? It says that the mark branded upon horses of the mark stamped on the forehead, with the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Now there are many Antichrists, as the scriptures say. Or if you against Yahushua and the Most High, you're Antichrist. All right. So this is talking about this is a physical. You got camps out there saying it's spiritual, it's sin in all its forms, it's an embargo. All right, it's sleeping with white women, They don't go into their words, man. They're not looking them up. You see, this is clearly a physical thing going to your hand or your forehead. All right, and we see it. This is gonna come to pass soon. All right, look at Amazon. They got the Amazon One. All right, pay with your palm. The pay with your palm payment. Pay with your palm payments. Right? They got the facial recognition. This is a clear sign that this is the mark of the beast. All right, so I think it was another one I wanted to get real quick. I think that was it. So this is just a quick one. All right, a news and prophecy report. All right, like I said, we see these things coming to pass, man. The wars and rumors of wars. All right, and these different not different, but this mark of the beast, man, is coming to pass. You see. let's go into some of the articles before I close, see if there's anything we got. All right. You know, Tedros threatens humanity. It says DX will unalive 20 times as many as, you know, the sea ragamuffin. It's when, not if. You see? So, you know, these devils are going down. They don't got too long, man. All right. So, hey, with that, Lord Williams was edifying. To you brothers and sisters out there, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone that teaching Ruel. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Our Lord Williams was edifying to you brothers and sisters out there, the household of faith. Lord Williams edifying. Until next video, Shalom. Kwame Asherallah, Wa Abababa.